Greetings. This is going to be my first show. I was thinking about what should I call it? What should I name it? What the topics would be. And I think today I'm going to speak from the perspective of, let me just be transparent. Let's talk about transparency here. So currently, I am unemployed. It's by choice. Let me say that it's by choice. Um, I've gotten to a place in my life where I'm trying to figure out what's the next move for me. Not what I think the next move should be, but what is the next move for me. I'm realizing that in the time that I've taken off, I haven't spent any time with myself. I've been chasing money, what we all do. And it's made me realize that in the pursuit of trying to chase all this money, that one thing that I realized is I haven't spent any time with myself. So outside of the job defining who I was, I realized that these jobs that we allow them to shape and mold and define who we are, and the limits and the caps on the salaries and things like that. I, After spending time with myself, I realized that that's not who I am. And I also realized another thing too, which is I don't know who I am. That's pretty deep. That's pretty. I don't know. I'm 47 years in age, and I've done it the way I thought I was supposed to do it, and I've done that for a long time. So I'm here saying that at 47 years old, that I don't know what's next because all I knew to do was to do what I was doing, which clearly isn't working. And you come to a point to where I think the older you get and the more and more that you do not walk in your purpose is it makes your soul scream. I really don't think it's your soul. I mean, it could be. I really more so think it's the inner child, and I think as adults, as we get into adulthood and we start, learning responsibility, and you're paying bills, and you're chasing this and you're chasing that, and you're forgetting about all the things that used to make us happy when we were children. You know, and we replace those things with the money, the cars, the houses, and just all those kind of things. You kind of lose sight of what this all was meant to be. I've lost sight of a lot working some job that really didn't serve my purpose. I didn't come to this realm to be a truck driver, you know. I didn't come to this realm to be any of the things that I set out to do. I've done a lot. I mean, I've cut hair, I've drove trucks, I've hauled cars the last 12 years. I've done a lot. I used to change tires. I used to work at KFC through high school. Um, I was a United States Marine at one time. I've done a lot, and all those things that I've done, I don't think I've ever found who I am. I used to rap. Got a lot of music out on Apple Music under the name Don Cousy. Thought I was pretty good at it. You know, when you don't get the feedback that you're looking for, you start second guessing yourself. You start wondering, are you really good at it? You know, nobody's paying attention. Are you really good at it? I felt like I was. I felt like I was a great songwriter and put a lot of time and a lot of money into that, and I didn't get anything back from that. I will say I don't think I did everything that I could do in order to push it to where it probably could have, would have, should have. But at the same time, yeah, at the same time, I do believe that I was protected in a lot of ways. I didn't have to experience some things that I probably could have experienced if, the envelope did get pushed or whatever. So, I am thankful for those things. But yeah, man, right now at 47, I'm looking at all the miles drove. I'm looking at all the boots to the ground. I'm looking at all the things that I've done, and to not have anything to really show for all the work that I put in, for all the soil that I've tilled throughout the years, the failed relationships, the failed marriages. I was married twice, I'm divorced twice. Um, just looking back over everything, I'm just wondering, where did I fit in? And I can say that, like I can say that, and I'm not ashamed to say that. I'm at 47, I'm trying to figure out where do I fit in. And, I've been applying for more jobs, thinking that, chasing this monetary money, that's the answer. And what I'm learning is that it's like the source, God, whatever you want to refer to it as, it's telling me that it's no to all those things. What is it that you really aspire to do? I really want to be a multimillionaire. Well, what does that mean? You know, why do you aspire to be that? I think, with me, it's not about getting material possessions. It's about getting the freedom that comes along with having some money in your bank account to be able to come and go as you please. And they say more money, more problems, but hey, I think money take care of a lot of them, actually, my personal opinion. So, I think the walk for me is changing. Um, it's time to do something different. I can't spend the rest of my life doing what I was doing. To me, it felt like I was planting my crops on in concrete or something. Like, I mean, never really saw the harvest that I wanted to see. So, what's next? I don't know. Trying to figure this out. And I don't think I'm alone. I don't think I don't think what I feel, I don't think where I'm at. I don't think I'm alone in these things. I look at all the money that I've spent, and I'm just talking about the money that I spent just paying bills. And then to not have anything to show for it. Like, it's getting rough out here. Like, it's really, really becoming really, really rough out here. Like, the cost of living, the cost of houses now. When I say the cost of houses, I'm not even talking about the price you see if you pull it up on Zillow, or the price that the real estate agent gives you when you call and you check up on it. I'm talking about, like, what's the price to really keep all that up? The long days at work, or the up all night worrying about just all the things that you worry about, you know what I'm saying? Or the unfaithfulness behind the walls, or, you know, the disrespect, or, just whatever it costs to the cost of that house along with the 30. year mortgage. I used to feel like I've never been to a closing table. I did one time, but it wasn't, I was with someone that I was married to, and it wasn't my deal. It wasn't my house. Even though we was married, it just didn't feel like it was mine. I always said that I would buy my first house cash. And I said that for a long time. I've always said I'm gonna buy my first house cash, and I haven't done that yet. I haven't gotten to a closing table yet. And I used to look at a closing table like I used to look at it like, man, you can get one of those things, man. You really blessed. Like, man, you really, really, really blessed. But now I look at it and it just looks like it looks like a sentence. I just I think about people who've had their houses damn near paid for, and yeah, like you had to refinance it. And then in the refinance, somewhere you got lost in the sauce. Like now you can't afford to pay back what you refinanced. And it got me questioning now, was that a win? Did you win? Being trapped like that, was that a win? Some people buy houses as investment properties. I understand that. I totally get that. That's what I would buy one for, But these days, man, my aspirations are a little different. Like I just being transparent. How can I know where I'm going if I don't even know who I am or don't even know where I really aspire to be? But one thing for sure is I gotta try to start walking in the reason why I am really here. And the reason why I am here, it isn't money ain't got nothing to do with it at all. It's sad that in our society that most would look at me like I'm a failure because I lack material possessions. And, especially here in the United States, we equate success to how much stuff you have or how much money's in your bank account. That's what we equate success to. I know a lot of clowns with a lot of money. I know a lot of bad people with a lot of money. Doesn't mean you're successful. So I guess I'm just really trying to figure out where do I fit in, and this is my first episode. Something was just telling me, yo man, get your camera out. Talk. Just talk, you know. You might say something that people want to hear, or you might, you know, just talk. Just pour your heart out, whatever that means. So, in this moment that I'm trying to find Reggie and what that means to me and maybe what it means to others, I'm continue. I done started writing 3 books, finding the motivation to really get into that and really write into that and stuff like that. It's been hard because you're worried about other things. You're worried about where's the next piece of money coming from? You know, where's the next coming from? Your mind is constantly consumed with that. But I'm just telling you that I go on my walks with my fiance. She's not working right now either. She's into trading, and I really, really pray that she gets real successful with that. I mean, it's like a real strong, strong, strong desire that she has, and I like that for her, And we are on a similar path, so it feels great to have a woman that stands behind me and supports me 1000% and never, never really judges me for what I have or what I don't have. Like, we've had all these things. We've had the house, the 2 cars in the driveway, Rottweiler, you know, eating good. We still eat good. We still do all of that. You know what I'm saying? We've had all of these things, but now we're just trying to change the narrative on how we really access these things. Like, yeah, I'm going to have me a house, but I'm going to pay for mine cash. I'm not going to lock into a 30-year mortgage on a loan. I mean, that's bananas to me. Um, Yeah, I just want to change the playing field. I want to change, like, I had got to a point to where I felt like having things was just like a bad thing. Like, oh, I mean, it just really got so bad to where I felt like I wasn't even supposed to have nothing. And I know that that's not it. I just want to change the narrative in the playing field. Like, if I go buy a car, like, yeah, man, let me buy a car or something, cash or something. You know what I'm saying? Or, you know, just learning in this process how to take all the limits off. Like, just take all the limits off. It's hard because we have been conditioned and trained, and it has been beaten into our minds and our hearts and our souls to struggle. It's crazy because, like, black people feel like, oh, if you don't get it out the mud, or you don't struggle, or you don't work hard for what you have, then it somehow diminishes the value of what it is that you have. And we got to get away from that. We got to get away from that narrative. Ain't nothing cool about getting nothing out of the mud. Let's just stop that, because there's nothing cool about getting anything out of the mud. If you had to get it out of the mud, then I understand that. I'm not saying that it's nothing wrong with getting it out of the mud, but we got to stop normalizing getting it out the mud. You know, everything here is already hard. So the things that you can make easy, why not make them easy? That's what I'm on now. I've done it the hard way, and I ain't got nothing to show you. I don't have nothing to show you for doing it the hard way. And I think God, or whoever that, the universe, whatever you want to refer to it as, I think that it wants to show me something different. And going back to that inner child that I was talking about, you remember as a kid, man, like, think about the expectations of like Christmas time and stuff like that. Like, you knew that the next day you was getting something. You knew something was going to show up for you. And I think as an adult, I've lost track of that. I've lost track of knowing that something will show up for me, you know. So I'm trying to find my way back to that inner child, because that's the person that you lock in the cage, and you put that inner child away. You bury them in there so deep to protect them from this world and all these bullshit people, and but the thing that I was talking about that was screaming, it's actually the inner child on the inside of me telling me now, hey, let me show you a different way to do this. And I'm going to lock in on that. And I'm going to let that inner child show me a different way to do this. Um, like I said, in this show, like, I don't know what to call this. I don't know what to name it. I had a few names, I had a few ideas, but I'm gonna just continue to try to do this. And I don't know, as it go, I mean, as it grows, or if it ever grows, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, I actually feel like this is therapy, talking to you guys, getting this out of me. Um, just in this session, it was just a little transparency. So, you know, I'm gonna try to do my shows in 20-minute segments, and we're at the end of this one, man. So, you guys be great, be blessed. Um, and I'll see you on the next episode of the Reggie Allen Show. Peace.